Welcome to the Live from South College podcast. I'm your host, Kathleen Stockham. The Live from South College podcast is your source for all South College activity, including new student information, deep dives into our 150 plus programs and concentration, tools of the trade, and even live on location from all of our campuses. Great interviews with faculty, staff, deans, and hear from South College students and alumni in their own words. From certificates all the way to doctoral degrees, catch up with Live from South College for the lighter side of helping your dreams find direction. We are headed to Pittsburgh today, where hopefully it's not snowing, to get close to the person who is in charge of making sure that you have a great and fulfilling experience at South College. For our Dean's List series, I'm excited to welcome the Dean of Academics and Student Services for South College Pittsburgh, Peggy Brinton. Hey, Peggy.
Hello. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. All right, my stylish friend. It is all about you today. She is definitely one of our most stylish out there, and you will know her when you see her, and she always looks amazing. So let's dive in. Pittsburgh is such a unique campus. So tell us a little bit more about this growing location.
So, where our Pittsburgh campus is located is just an amazing area. I remember growing up as a kid and seeing this area, and it was a lot of farmland and not a lot happening in this area. And since then, it is booming. We have lots of shops around us, restaurants, and the location of the school just cannot be any better for South College. What makes us unique is that we are not downtown Pittsburgh. You don't have to fight the traffic. You don't have to worry about any of that hubbub down there. It's easy for us to get to. The campus itself is beautiful, large, and I think that's what makes us very unique. We're in a nice location to where all of our healthcare organizations are located. It makes it easy for our students, our staff to get here and get to their clinical sites. So I think that's what makes us very unique.
I love it. And it's Butler County and it's Cranberry Township, which I agree with you is a lovely, lovely area. And you make a great point. You don't have to go downtown, you don't have to fight the traffic, but it's right there where you need it and it's just right off the highway, which I think is great. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about some specific programs. So, surgical technology is, of course, a hugely popular program and the Pittsburgh campus has been featured on the news twice now for its amazing hands on instruction. Plus, it was used to promote season 20 and season 21 premiere of Grey's Anatomy. So tell me more about Surge Tech in Pittsburgh.
So I do have to say I am a huge Grey's Anatomy fan. And I think the addition of these medical shows on TV have really elevated surgical technology and even some of the other healthcare programs that we offer at South College. The Surge Tech program that we have here, you walk into that door and it is a wow factor. You walk in and it is the actual OR that you see on
Mhm.
television. And I think that's what students really thrive. They don't want to always just go into a classroom and sit and hear lecture. This is hands on with laparoscopic machines. We have simulations that you can actually perform surgeries on. They can do stitching. There is so much in this lab that you walk in and you feel like a true surgical technologist walking into our labs.
Yeah, I think that's great. And you raise a really good point. Even high school students, when they come to tour, have them go into Surge Tech or when we have the Boys and Girls Club that visit our different campuses. And that is literally they all make a beeline for Surge Tech because they get to put on, of course, the gown and the gloves and get their hands deep and they get to play with all the cool tools. I think if
Mhm.
I had it to do all over again, it would probably be Surge Tech for me. But I agree with you. I've interviewed Chris Blevins a couple of times, who is our senior program chair for surgical technology, and she always says that students love it because they look like ninjas. Because literally all you see is their eyeballs as they're passing instruments. So I agree with you. It's definitely a wow factor. So, as Dean of Academic and Student Services, what is a typical day for you?
There is no typical day.
That's an honest answer.
It changes day to day for me. It could be anywhere from helping with the different programs, faculty, student concerns, to doing applications for new programs, that administrative piece of it. The part that I truly love the most is when I have schools visit us and I
Mhm,
have community partners visit us, because that is our opportunity to showcase what South College Pittsburgh offers to the community and healthcare organizations in the area and to our high school students. I enjoy being out there and shaking hands and meeting people and hearing the why.
mhm.
So, as much as I'm in my office doing this administrative work, the days that I can walk out and do that, that's what I love the most about my job here as a dean.
Yeah, ditto on that. Those are always my favorite days. Of course, mine look a little bit different. I walk around with a microphone and surprise and annoy students in the hallway with my podcast microphone. But I love it. I see students in the elevator, and I'm always like, "Hey, how's it going? You got a test today?" And they always have this very sheepish look, like, "Yeah." Are you ready? Yeah.
Yeah, I think giving them the pep talk really does help. They want to know that we're at their level and we are there for their guidance, and that's what I love. You see them in the elevator, the halls. We have a lot of
Mhm,
students that come in. They're here at 7 o'clock in the morning studying.
mhm.
And, I love conversing with them and seeing how's everything going in classes. You got this test today. You guys got this.
Yeah, I agree, and it's definitely a different experience from when I was in school, and of course, that was, back in the dinosaur age, but I know when I was in college, you never had staff or faculty really ask you anything. Everyone just sort of passed each other on the sidewalks going between buildings, and I went to a large school, and, everybody was basically face down doing their own thing and not paying attention, but I love the fact that we can interact with our students, we can, of course, have a little fun with them, and, most importantly, they're here for a reason, and so I love to meet them, and I find some of them have these really encouraging, very compelling stories, and I wanna hear about 'em, and,
Yes.
I go back to my office, and I'm like, "Alright, this is great." I mean, you really feel like you're making a difference in somebody's life in some small shape or form, so I completely agree with you.
Yeah, when I do the welcome sessions and we introduce the students, I always ask them their why. Why are you here? What brought you? Why did you choose this program? And then I always give them that encouragement of remember that why. When things get tough, when things get hard, and you're questioning your decision, go back to that why. So those stories are extremely compelling, and it helps with their success as they move forward in their programs.
Boy, I think I need to call you every morning on my drive to work. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Alrighty. So speaking of students, when do students like need you? So as the dean, I mean, when do students really need you as it relates to their day and their time at South College?
I think sometimes, unfortunately, for the deans or even a campus president, the students sometimes don't need you until there's an obstacle. Something bad has happened, and now they need your guidance. And unfortunately, that's more so the times that they need us. But again, even in those bad times, to me, talking to those students and talking them down off that ledge and knowing, hey, I understand what you're going through. I was that non traditional student. I went to school when I was 17 years old, didn't do real hot the first semester of school. And then I didn't go back to school until my early 30s. And, I understand those struggles.
Hmm.
So when they have that need for the dean and my instructor said this, I need your help, I'm able to sit there and empathize with their stories and walk them through, okay, now we're going to do this in order to get you to that finish line and that goal that you came to South College for. So unfortunately, we do see them more so on the bad side of things, but I again like the fact that I can be that guidance for them and get them back on the right track.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's very consistent with when I've talked to deans at our other campuses. If you see the dean or you need to go see the dean? Is it kind of da, 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 okay, something bad's
Yes.
happening? Or sometimes, maybe you need someone to sort of help course correct you and kind of get you on the correct path. So what are your key suggestions that you have for students that feel like, well, they need a little help or they have a concerning question or, they just feel lost?
Mhm. And, we see that a lot with our students. And, my very first thing that I always say to them is communicate. You have to communicate with us. And a lot of times I think when they're feeling that lost position, they're embarrassed. And nobody needs to. We all go through different things in our life, different obstacles that happen that may get in the way of those studies. But in
Mhm.
order for us to help, we want you to communicate. No problem is too big. Let's tackle this together. So, honestly,
Mhm.
that is my biggest thing that I say to the students. Don't be afraid. Come see us. Pick up that phone, email, come knock on my door. I will drop what I can to assist you. Just communicate with us.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, are there any other tips that you have? Because, when students are maybe they're not in trouble. So like what are your top 3 tips for new students at South College Pittsburgh? They're coming in the door. We just started a new quarter here not long ago. So
Mhm.
these new students walking in the door, what are your like top 3 tips for them?
First, have fun. You are here, you're changing your life. Have fun, be excited. Have that study buddy. That will always help when you have somebody else going through the same program because you maybe have a strength and they have this weakness, and the two of you together complement each other. Create those study groups as well. Now, with technology and COVID, we now have everything online. Do those Zoom study groups. Reach out to your instructors, talk to your SSA if you need help or resources, but have fun with it and just keep that end goal in line in the vision and know that you're going to get there sooner than you think.
Yeah, I agree, and, I just have to append what you said because I know it holds true. We've been watching my own kids when they went off to college. Find your people. That's what I
Yes.
told my kids. Find your people. You will find them. Find your group, find your tribe, and you will make lasting relationships with people who are basically in the same boat with you in the exact same situation. You're going through the same things, the same classes, and you'll be amazed at how much kinship and friendship you can create when you find someone who is literally in the same boat with you. So, and the other thing you said that I really like that I think is really important is you have a student success advisor that is your person. That's the other kind of important piece of the puzzle besides the dean is that you have a student success advisor who is going to be that ear, that guide, and most importantly, that arm over your shoulder that says, "Hey, look, you've got this. We're here to support you." Don't you agree?
Absolutely. We have those support systems and they are your person. Like you said, find your people, they are your person too. And that's what is going to be just amazing to the success of graduation and career future.
Yeah, I agree, and that's always the best part when I talk to student success advisors, they said graduation is the best. You get to hug the neck of a student that you kind of helped grow from a nervous freshman, wide-eyed in the door to now a
Mhm.
confident graduate who's crossing the stage and ready to start the next phase of their life. So, yeah, I love
Definitely.
that.
Kathleen, I will tell you, the one story that I've had from my journey in education that will always touch me is being at graduation and having a mother come up to me and say, "Thank you for doing for my child what I couldn't do for them."
Oh,
And
wow.
I will never, ever forget that student because we are here to help them succeed. And to hear that coming from a mother was just very powerful for me.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that ooh, I have like little goosebumps. That's amazing. Wow. What a
Mhm.
moment. That's a very cool story. I like that. Okay. So let's roll it back. So many great programs. If you had to do it all over again, what program would you choose?
So I have to tell you, I'm very biased because I am a respiratory therapist by trade. So
There you go.
for me, I would pick respiratory therapy every day of the year. But again, it goes to we have so many great programs here, amazing faculty. So any program is great. But again, I'm very biased, so I will always go back to respiratory therapy.
I love it. Well, I appreciate your honesty. Really interesting. So that makes sense that you carry a little bias. That's awesome. We need a lot more RTs in the world for sure.
We do.
So, yeah. So, what's your journey and how did you get to South College?
So my journey was very interesting over time. Believe it or not, I was in real estate years and years ago.
I see
And
that. I see that. I can totally see that.
And I decided to get into healthcare. Family members had some health issues, and I just felt that we needed to have more happy people in the healthcare organization. So,
Mhm.
went back to school, and my admissions person, I will never forget because I walked in and I wanted to be a medical assistant, and they said, "Well, how about respiratory therapy?" And I said, "Okay, never heard of it. Let's give it a shot." And now 20 years later, still respiratory therapist, but I had somebody seek me out sometime in my career that says, "How about education?" And again, I'm not afraid to try anything new, so I'm like, "Okay," I liked having students during the clinical rotations,
Mhm.
and then started up a respiratory therapy program, and just through my career then found South College and was able to help with the respiratory therapy program here, and now here I am as a dean with South College.
Wow, I did not know that you started out as a realtor. So that means that you had the little sign with your picture on it and
Yes.
business cards. I love that.
Yes, I did that, and then I also did commercial leasing, so, totally different from what we do now, but, that was my journey years ago.
That's really interesting. When you were growing up, what did you want to do?
Believe it or not, I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I wanted to be an interior designer,
Oh my goodness.
and now look
Wow.
where I am. Education was not on the radar at all.
But there's a theme here, and the theme is you wanna help others. Think about
Yes.
that. You wanna help others potentially find their way through the law. You wanna help others find the a great home for themselves. You wanna help people breathe better, live more healthily, and now you're helping next generation healthcare leaders find their career and find their direction. So, hello, there's your theme.
That's a great statement. I've never looked at it that way. But it's funny you say about the next generation because at the welcome sessions, I say to them, "You're the next generation of healthcare that is going to take care of me whenever I'm old." So, we
Yeah.
grow them into excellence, and get them on that path to their new careers.
Yeah. Alright, so I have to ask about the style. Every time I see you on a Zoom call or in a meeting, when we happen to be on the same meetings together, you're always so colorful, so stylish, so well put together. Where does that come from?
I have no clue, except for my love
Really?
of shopping. When I was growing up through high school, one of my passions was art. And I loved colors. I loved drawing. I loved doing all of those things. And,
Mhm,
as I grew up, I was in national art shows. And when I became an adult, I just got this love for different colors and styles and,
mhm.
fashion. I just loved it. And that took me probably to my love of interior design as well. I do the same thing with my home, and it has never gone away. I have glasses that match every outfit, shoes, everything.
You do. You always like I said, always so stylish, and you have this fabulous new haircut, or at least
I
it's
do.
new to me. So, don't mean to put you on the spot or anything, but
That's
I
okay.
I love it because you have this beautiful dark curly hair that I saw you in a meeting and I was like, "Wait, she got her hair."
I like reinventing myself. It keeps people on their toes with me, but I also like to be the real me. So, and
Mhm.
this is style, hair, everything. You'll see me changing all the time.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. All righty. And so the question that I ask all of my guests, and you included, what kind of student were you in school?
So in high school, I was excellent. Graduated 4th in my class.
Wow.
I was a super nerd. And then I went to college the first time and I was horrible. I I was like, "Woohoo, I'm free. I can do what I want." So I didn't do
I
real
think
hot.
that's every 18-year-old, by the way.
Ye Yes, yes. So, didn't do very hot, and then when I went back to school later in life, I was that super nerd all over again. I 4.0 through all of my education
Mhm.
and still in my education, hopefully soon to be Dr. Brinton next year. Um,
Oh, that's
but
right. We have to
yes,
talk about that. We have to talk about that. You're getting your EDD, right?
I am.
Oh my goodness. And how's it going? Because any kind of doctoral program, and particularly a doctoral program while you hold a full-time job, is not easy. How's it going?
It is not easy, and, life gets in the way. There's no doubt about it with, your professional life, personal life, and then you have to sit down and really discipline yourself to get those 15 assignments in that are due in that one course.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it's challenging, but I'm a student just like the rest of the students on this campus. And you take that computer home and you're like, "Okay, I can be sitting outside having fun." No, go sit down and do your homework. So
Yep, yep.
you know, you have that internal talking to yourself to get yourself disciplined. It is tough, but I'm looking forward to the end. And I mean, the program that I'm in is fantastic. The instructors are amazing. And
Mhm.
again, they're there for guidance. So when I email them, they email me back, give me some suggestions, advice. And I also have a South College mentor. She does weekly check ins with me. And I love it because she keeps me on that track as well. So, if I wanna slack, she's like, "Peg, don't forget you got this assignment. Yep, you're right. Let's get it done."
Oh, I love that. So you're really kind of living the experience along with the students that you're guiding. I mean, that's actually really important. And I'm curious because hearing about your experience doing the EDD program, I have definitely seriously considered the DBA program for
Mhm.
myself. And I so far have said, nope, 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 not going to do it. But mainly because I feel like even though my kids are grown and out of the house, but I'm kind of like, I don't know if I have time. I don't think I'd be a great student. I tend to work in flurries, so I would probably be all into it for 3 or 4 weeks and not be like, I'm going to step away for 3 weeks. I mean, that's a great thing about any competency-based education program we have at South College. Shameless plug for our CBE programs is you can do that. You can
Yeah.
be hardcore for 3 weeks and then take a week or 2 off if you need to and just pick right back up. But on the other hand, I'm always kinda like, "Oh," and I tend to find excuses. How did you talk yourself into it?
So, I was a doctorate program years ago as well. I'm actually ABD, so I did everything but dissertation,
Mhm.
and ran out of time because I procrastinated.
Yeah.
So, I worked really hard at that time to get my doctoral and, unfortunately that didn't work in my favor, but now I'm doing this. And, it is hard some days to talk yourself to just sit down and do it because
Mhm.
you've worked a very long day and you're tired and, you just want to relax. But, I know in a short period of time, I'm going to succeed and I'm going to have that doctorate title and, the success from all of this that I just say, you know what? Just sit down. Take an hour, watch one of your shows, and now you need to sit down and do your homework. So I try to make that balance between being
Yeah.
able to relax and then get back to the work that I know needs to be done.
Yeah. I think that's great, and that's honestly great advice for any student, by the way.
Mhm.
Any
Yeah.
program, find the compromise. Give yourself a treat of 30 minutes. Hey, I'm just
Mhm.
gonna doom scroll on my phone for 30 minutes and then I'm gonna actually do my homework after that.
And you have to, and, some of the things that I tell the students as well, when I went to school, in my 30s, I was a single mom at that time, and being a single mom going back to school, you really need to focus on that personal as well as that education.
Yeah.
I would sit with my daughter and study with her. So I had my flashcards, she had hers, so that you were able to combine those 2 together and you don't miss out on one or the other. So I
Yeah.
learned a while ago how to do that.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. And it's gotta be difficult at that point in your life where you're, raising a child by yourself. I meet particularly at our different campuses, I'll get a chance to talk to students and you do find, those single moms but they're working their little behinds off.
Yeah.
They are in a program and they're working hard. I got to meet an amazing lady in Atlanta and I always it's my favorite story and, I asked kind of her why, why are you doing this? And she said, because I want to show my kids that it can be done, that,
Yep.
no matter what is in front of you, you can do it. You just put your mind to it, you put your head down and you make it happen. And I was just like, whoo, wow, okay,
Yeah.
awesome. And I love that. It's amazing. All right. Any parting advice? As we conclude our little journey here, any parting advice for students that you have?
Again, it just goes back to that communication and remember that why. To me, we are here for the students. We want them to succeed. They chose this for themselves. Let us help you through that process. And always remember why you signed up in the first place. That
Yeah.
finish line comes quicker than what you think. And in a short period of time, you're going to be out there helping other people just like you wanted to do in the first place. So communicate and remember that why.
Oh, I love it. And there you have it. Well, if you are a Pittsburgh campus student and you need help or just a friendly face to talk to, look no further than the very stylish Peggy Brinton, soon to be Dr. Peggy Brinton. Thank you so much, South College Pittsburgh's Dean of Academic and Student Success, Peggy Brinton, for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, no, this was great. I knew it was going to be fun. Coming up after the break, we'll chat with one of your students who has made the jump from Associate of Science, Health Science, pre nursing to now a BSN student. And we will ask her all about her experience. Stick around. We'll be right back.
When you start your new career path at South College, you'll join students from different walks of life at varying stages in their lives. Many students are going back to school to finish degrees, while others are pursuing elevated education that will help them improve their potential in their current roles or for chasing a new direction. South College offers over 100 programs and concentrations with specialized focus on associate, bachelor's, master's, educational specialist, and doctoral degrees in healthcare, business, technology, education, and legal studies. We are regularly developing new academic programs based on local, regional, and national trends. Each curriculum is designed to promote development of knowledge and skills in the associated discipline as we challenge and support our students. South College is committed to providing intellectual, social, and professional development to a diverse student body. With locations in Knoxville, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Asheville, North Carolina, Orlando, Florida, Indianapolis, Indiana, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Dallas, Texas, and Marietta, Georgia, as well as programs delivered through Competency-Based Education, or CBE, and online. We're here with you every step of the way, starting with the admissions process. To find out more, visit South College at south.edu. South College, where dreams find direction.
And welcome back. Deciding what path to take is always a tough choice. For nursing, you need to have a strong foundation and certain prerequisites to ensure you have what it takes to handle the rigors of nursing school. Our Associate of Science, Health Science pre nursing program does exactly that. We are catching up with a former Pittsburgh pre nursing student and current BSN student Jelena Hawkins on the podcast today. Hey, Jelena.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going good. Very excited to talk to you. You are the kind of student we look for. You did one program and now you're ready to move right on to the next one. So thanks for stepping away from homework to talk to us. I know you're all broken up about not doing homework at the moment, right?
Right.
I love it. So you were an Associate of Science, Health Science, pre-nursing student, and now you've gone on to the BSN. So tell us about that journey and what made you decide to keep going.
My journey with pre-nursing was really awesome. I really love the faculty and staff, and also during my pre-nursing journey, I also did work study, which made me really fall in love with South College. I just thought South College was just a fun, inviting environment for learning, so that's why I just really loved it there.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the fact that, you're finding, obviously a welcomeness and an openness at South College, which we really, really work hard to provide. But, as far as the pre-nursing piece of it, so there is a little bit of misunderstanding when consumers and potential students have questions on social media about pre-nursing. So you took it to get foundations into nursing, right?
Yes, it really helped build my confidence and give me, like, a really good foundation to make sure that, I had the good steps that I need to get into nursing school. Like, it offered pathology, just like the basic science classes that really helped me understand. It really makes sense when you're in the BSN program, like, "Oh, that's why we had to take that class." It really is a really good, foundation to study and help you also learn how to stay organized throughout nursing school.
Yeah, college is hard, and I think that's the one thing that the pre-nursing program does. It gets you prepared for how tough nursing school is gonna be. So tell me, when did you know that you wanted to be a nurse? When did that happen for you?
Um Probably when I was working in the emergency department. I was actually going to go to med school. I was actually, in a biochemistry program, and I realized how much nurses were really involved in
Mhm,
healthcare at the bedside versus being the physician, and I just
mhm.
love holding my patients' hands through their tough moments, and that was just really life-changing for me, and I was like, "I need to change my major. I wanna do nursing. That's something I wanna do." The emergency department is just, like, a really good foundation for me of just realizing I love being at the bedside with the patient. That's something I really enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. My daughter is an ER nurse, and similar to you, was thinking about med school and then thinking about forensic science when she was in her first undergrad, and then decided she wanted to do the accelerated BSN, and then decided she really wanted to be in the ER. And similar to you, I think she really loved the fact that each patient interaction brings a different experience. Each patient interaction, there's something new, there's something different. And, you're constantly on the move and, you're helping patients sometimes at their very worst moment as well. And she really loved that. I mean, do you think ER is where you're leaning or you don't know yet?
The ER has my heart. I love the ER so much. It's very fast-paced. I've been in the ER for about 13 years. I did adult world for 5.5, and now I've been in pediatric world for almost 6. It's really a blessing, and being with the little kiddos, which I think is a little harder because 'cause you're watching them not feel well, but my fun thing is you're just watching them leave here smiling, which is, like, the
Mhm.
happiest day of my life. Every single day I get to make an impact on someone's life because, like, this is the first time they ever had an IV or just they broke their arm and you're making it fun, a fun experience, like, you're giving them stickers, you're giving them Play-Doh, that's something I just really like. You're just having fun the whole time, we're blowing bubbles, just a great and fun experience.
Yeah, yeah, and that's definitely a nice plus because you're able, particularly for the pediatric piece of it, kind of maybe distract them a little bit from kind of all the machines and things happening when they have to go to the ER. That makes total sense. So I want to go back to pre-nursing for just a minute. Was there ever a time when you were in the pre-nursing program and, of course, thinking about and deciding to move into the BSN, but was there ever a point when you were in pre-nursing that you're like, "Oh my gosh, this is harder than I thought?"
Um, Not as often, no, because I just really had really good professors that just made me motivated throughout each week. They'll give you an announcement and just like, "All right, I know this is tough, but this is our end goal." Like, they always would motivate you, and that's something that is very unique about South College is that they're always motivating their students to do better, and try to, like, make you see a different perspective, which is really nice. That's why I love it here so much.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. All right, so you're actually at the Pittsburgh campus. So we talked to Peggy Brinton just a little bit ago, who's the dean, and she was telling us all the cool things about Pittsburgh. You guys also get a lot of snow, so there's that. But tell us your impression of the South College Pittsburgh campus.
Oh, it's so beautiful, and, it it's just it's a relaxing environment, um, very welcoming and supportive. The professors will sit down with you, they really care, and they really want you to succeed and, like, make a difference. They make you feel like you're a part of, like, the team, not, like, just a student class. You're not just a number. It's just so beautiful and fun, there's always something going on. I just love it so much.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, and that's definitely what we like to hear, and it's a very consistent theme when I've had a chance to interview students. They always say something similar to what you just said. I don't feel like a number. I feel like my instructor knows me. They know my name. They know my strengths, my weaknesses, and they're always there and available to help. So that's awesome, and again, very, very consistent. So for anyone thinking about the pre-nursing program, we'll get to BSN in a minute, but for the pre-nursing program, what are your kind of top tips and suggestions for someone who's thinking about pre-nursing as the first step?
Um, Pre-nursing, you kinda like, it's mostly online, so you kinda have to have a good schedule and be really
Hmm.
self-motivating, like, "Okay, today I'm gonna study my math, I'm gonna study science, if I need support, I could reach out to my professor or do, like, the online tutoring," but you have to always also be, like, self-motivated. It's tough, but you also have to remember this is where you're gonna get your good study habits to make sure that you stay organized so you're successful later on.
Yeah, I like that, and that makes a lot of sense. Now, tell me the same thing for BSN. What are your top tips for someone who is thinking about going into the BSN, whether they've done the pre-nursing program ahead of time or not?
Oh, it's fast pace. You're like, "Oh, it's week 1." Next thing you know, you blink and it's like week 10. I'm like, "What happened with the time?"
Hey, that's true for everything, by the way.
It is, but, it's such a great experience, and the one thing I'll say, your professors are there to support you, and it's okay to ask questions. Like, they have the NAS team, they are able to help you with online help, like, let's say you need help with we use ATI for testing, and they're so helpful with learning, like, helpful tips, even with your professors, having a good schedule, and just remember why you first started. I know it gets tough, like, we're in the middle, like, "Oh, this is so hard. Can I not do it?" But yes, you can. You definitely can do it. It's just, you have a great team up behind you, so you're not gonna wanna give up. You got this.
Yeah, yeah. I know when my daughter was doing her accelerated BSN, she said adult health was, like, for whatever reason, was the hardest, and it was occurring at the same time as clinicals.
Yeah.
So and she had a part-time job, so a part-time job, and she said adult health was tough, and then, of course, clinicals on top of all that in the same quarter, and when she was an excellent student, but, she was just like, "Mom, this is rough." Have you found the same thing? I mean, that it's just a lot to manage?
It's tough. Well, a little fun fact, I actually work 4 jobs, and I go to
Oh
nursing
my
school
god.
full
4?
time. Yes.
Okay, so expand on that. Please unpack that for me. How are you doing 4 jobs, and what are you doing?
So I work at Olive Garden as a to-go specialist. I work at an emergency department at Children's in the ER. I do that weekend, and I also dog sit. and then I do the work study program. So everything's pretty flexible, but it's able for me to study. Study is like really, really important to me. You can ask Peggy, I'm always studying all the time, figuring out different ways to study. It's just very, very helpful to have kind of holes in my schedule so I can just focus on my studies and making sure that I get my homework done.
Oh my goodness. I am truly impressed. That's remarkable. I always used to tell my kids when I was in graduate school, I was balancing two jobs. I worked in a television newsroom and I bartended of all things. I would tell my kids, "Oh, you don't know how hard it is." Okay, you got to be beat by a huge mile with four jobs. That is impressive. I gotta tell you, I don't know how you do it. That's awesome. So, when you get out and you pass your NCLEX, sounds like you wanna go back to the ER. Are you scared about the NCLEX? Are you worried, or do you feel like you're gonna be pretty well prepared?
I feel like the way our school does it, they really prepare us. Like, they do a lot of mock testing and they have a lot of support on. I know it's tough because right now I'm going through that NCLEX prep and I keep reminding myself, like, this is going to prepare me to do well in this exam so I can go out and be in the workforce and be safe, be a safe, competent nurse. I'm so excited to keep learning and growing and making a difference so I can pass that test.
I love it, and so I heard a rumor that you're about to graduate, so the NCLEX is looming.
Yes, in June.
Oh my goodness. So, how are we feeling? Have you greenlit yet, or are you still waiting on that?
I'm still waiting. I'm a couple weeks away, but
Okay.
I'm happy and I'm sad because I love our school so much that I want to be a teacher there, but I also just love the environment. It's just so positive, such a big impact on my life that I secretly don't want to leave. I think they all know that.
I love it. Okay, so that begs a question. Are you gonna come back and do your MSN? Are you gonna get your DNP? What are you thinking?
I would love to come back and get my DNP, but I also want to come back as professor because they have impacted me so much that they have created such a positive environment for learning for students that it inspires me to teach as well. So that's what my long-term goal is to come back to South College.
Wow. Okay. So this is probably a silly question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Since doesn't sound like you have a lot, but what do you do in your spare time when you're not at jobs one, two, three, or four or studying?
Oh, I love to go to the gym. I have 2 birds and a dog. I love to travel. I usually take my birds traveling, camping all the time. So all summer we're
Mhm.
going to campsites. So they're just hanging out with me.
Oh my goodness. I'm kind of envisioning an AI picture in my head of you, and I can see birds and studying and Olive Garden bags and dogs on a leash. I mean, how do you do all this? Teach me your ways. How does
You
this
know,
happen?
for me, it's always keep a positive mindset. You set your goal for like, okay, I want to go camping. All right, let's figure it out. Let's do it. You just have to add all those little things and say, I'm going to bring it with me. Just for fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, okay. You wanted to hear from students, and here's one. And my goodness, I think she's got everybody beat because I don't think anybody is as busy as she is. And there you have it. It's all about South College Pittsburgh today. And I want to thank my guest, the extremely busy but amazing, amazing student, Jelena Hawkins, for giving us some insight into both pre-nursing and the BSN program, and good luck on that NCLEX. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you. That's going to do it for us today with 10 campuses in 7 states, plus online and CBE. There's a pathway for you at South College. I hope you enjoyed this latest episode of Live from South College. The Live from South College podcast is a production from South College Marketing. Thanks for joining me. And if you love it, give it some stars. And you can always send us feedback by emailing us at southcollegepodcast@south.edu. And yes, I rate them all. Have an awesome day and let your dreams find direction. See you next time.